and attorney and Young Voices senior contributor Tyler Grant. So many lawyers. Let's sue somebody. Welcome, everyone. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what happened today in court, because there are some very nervous people. Did we realize that there could be hundreds of nervous people out there?
It seems like there will be hundreds of nervous people, and the good news is it does seem that people are going to be able to recover, whether or not it's justice and having their day in court against Mr. Epstein. They're going to be able to recover potentially a lot of money in damages. You know, 2 days before he signed a will to push all of his money into a trust. And thankfully, based upon the way that trust law works, it looks like victims are going to be able to have access to that money.
But he also filed it in the Virgin Islands, which could complicate things.
A little bit. It might make people having some lawyers having to take a flight down there to get to the money, but they're going to get to the money.
There's worse places to have to go.
It's so weird that lawyers are always able to find the money.
You know, more importantly, though, I think we need to expose everybody involved in this.
Okay, but I want to ask you something, particularly as a defense attorney. I was talking to a physician the other day who said, yeah, I used to treat Jeffrey Epstein. And he said, I didn't know anything about this. And I was like, how interesting, because this could be someone who was in his phone. So, you know, many of the names could be people who were incidentally acquainted with him. Should those people have their names and their reputations revealed?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you have nothing to hide, then I think the best way to deal with this is transparency. There were so many people.
Okay, but what if you've done nothing wrong, but all of a sudden you're on a list of people who've done pretty much the worst things on the planet?
And the internet sleuths, which are out in full force in the Jeffrey Epstein case, and with good reason, find your name in the documents and come after you, come after your family, come after your phone number, even though you may have nothing to hide, because they're amateur internet sleuths, your name is on the list.
But some of this is on the media to be responsible at how we report it. I mean, listen, if you're the doctor in a phone book, then you have nothing to really worry about. But if you're, you know, some of the people who help transport these women, who help traffic them, who help poach some of them, then yeah, absolutely, we need to find answers. We need to figure out who was doing it. Careers should be ruined.
And who was complicit.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. I think
but that's one of the most important things here is a lot of the people involved in this and the people who were procuring the young, vulnerable women were other women.
Right.
And now they have been essentially named as co-conspirators.
Right, and named as co-conspirators, and we're not going to understand really the varying levels of complicitness, or like who exactly did what, under what circumstances and under what direction, and with what level of knowledge of what Epstein was actually doing. And so I think, yes, it has to be, the responsibility has to fall on the media. There has to be a way to do this in the courts that's fair to everybody involved, because there will be some people implicated. That's part of the process. This is the allegations, the scope of these allegations is just massive.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons this case is not going away.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, it seems like the federal judge that's looking into the case, I think she laughed at Alan Dershowitz's attorney when she said, you know, we're going to be able to get these documents out, and we're going to be able to discern what is important and what the public needs to see and what they don't need to be. I mean, we got to understand that. I mean, she has clerks, she has, you know, other, you know, assistants that are going to help her go through the information. They're going to curate it in a way that's fair to all parties. And we shouldn't forget, though, that when they put all the information out there and reporters were trying to figure out what was going on with the Epstein thing, you know, the news actually pushed the envelope of what this case was about versus what the prosecutors and high, powerful people were trying to obscure what was really going on with the Epstein stuff.
Yes,
so, and it's important.
You know, he took that plea deal and kind of spent time in prison and was still abusing young women the entire time.
Absolutely.
So the multiple failures on so many different levels, there is so much to answer for here.
And
the judge was also very frustrated today. You know, you had like strange parties here. You have the lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell as well as
standard. I mean, we know federally it's illegal, but you know, you fly into Denver, have a fun weekend, and forget to, you know, throw everything away before you leave, and now you're crossing state lines with a joint.
Or you don't even think about it because you purchased it legally. Yeah. And like you can imagine people who are going to Denver and they buy what they need to buy, and they purchased it legally, so they don't think twice.
They
about
go
keeping it
to
on
a
their
dispensary
person.
like it's going to Sephora.
It's like going to an Apple
That's
store.
why it's so confusing.
Yeah.
You're not going to some dude's apartment at 2 in the morning hoping for the best.
James Franco.
I mean, You've been to James Franco's apartment?
No. But Pineapple Express.
Oh,
There we
yes,
go.
of course.
Great movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think, short term, it's a problem that, states are working through. I think Oregon has done a good job where if you fly within the state of Oregon and you have, weed in your possession.
What if you fly from Oregon to California?
So,
recreational to recreational.
So that's an interesting. When you cross state lines with something that's illegal federally, you've committed a crime. And I think as we move forward into the future, I mean, according to the Pew Research Center, 74% of millennials believe in the legalization of marijuana. So we're looking down the road.
I bet it's higher than that.
Well, I'm going off a Pew. I don't know.
I bet it's because I know it's 51% of Republicans.
You know who's not picking up their phone to answer Pew polls?
Well,
I mean, but now that parents are,
unknown number, no way, bro.
and now that we got parents that are, going back and living their college days and token up again,
Yeah.
I think you're going to start to see a wholesale change.
Well,
in how,
now you see parents who are like, oh, wait a second, I can have fun and not be hungover?
Yeah.
This is great, and it's legal, and I'm not a total dirtbag?
Yeah,
Like,
and,
I could just go in
and you're,
somewhere and
working with small
have a
business
Sour
and-
Patch Kid and giggle.